Samantha Peterson was a freelance graphic designer who was watching her bills stack up faster than her clients were paying her. With the chill of early winter creeping through the windows of her small apartment, she was doing her best to stay afloat. Despite living on a tight budget, Samantha was known for her generosity and her tendency to help others whenever she could. She often believed that no matter how difficult things got for her, a simple act of kindness could brighten anyone's day, including her own. One gray afternoon, after finishing a drawing for a particularly difficult client, Samantha packed her things in her worn-out backpack. She decided to treat herself to a walk through the park nearby. The trees were bare, and the sky threatened rain, but Samantha found peace in the crisp air. As she strolled along the damp pathways, her thoughts whirled around the unpaid bills sitting on her kitchen counter. Rent was due soon, and she hadn't landed any new projects to fill the gap. Still, she allowed herself to enjoy these small moments outside, where the fresh air and distant sounds provided a temporary escape from her worries. Suddenly, the sky opened up, releasing a steady downpour. Samantha sighed, pulling her only protection, a small, trusty umbrella, from her bag. She had just popped it open when she spotted someone huddling under a tree, clearly unprotected from the sudden shower. The woman was dressed in a suit, but it was soaked, and her expression was one of frustration mixed with resignation. Samantha's heart went out to her. She approached without hesitating, feeling the weight of the water on her own shoulders, but determined to help. "Excuse me," Samantha said, offering her umbrella to the woman. "You look like you need this more than I do." The stranger, whose coat was now clinging to her body, blinked in surprise. She accepted the umbrella hesitantly but offered a grateful smile. "Thank you so much. I have an important meeting across town, and I didn't expect this rain." "My name is Samantha Peterson," she introduced herself, trying to inject some cheer into this rainy day. "I'm just happy to help." "I'm Jessica Palmer," the woman responded, still holding the umbrella with an incredulous look. "I don't know how to thank you. You're saving my workday." Samantha shrugged it off, trying to appear nonchalant about it. "It's just an umbrella. You can hold on to it as long as you need it." As they chatted for a brief moment more, Samantha caught a glimpse of her own reflection in a puddle at her feet, seeing a tired but determined woman who, despite her own struggles, couldn't ignore someone else's need. Jessica Palmer insisted, "Really, let me repay you in some way. You don't know how much this means to me." The moral compass Samantha lived by didn't even entertain the notion of taking a reward for such a basic act of kindness. She gently declined, assuring Jessica that her gratitude was thanks enough. Despite this, Samantha could tell there was something in Jessica's gaze that promised she would see her again. The rain began to lessen, and they parted ways, Jessica with a promise to return the umbrella somehow, and Samantha with an odd sense of warmth in her heart that no amount of rain could drench. Samantha continued her stroll back toward her apartment, without her umbrella but carrying an unexpected sense of fulfillment. The random act of helping Jessica had left an undeniable mark on her day. As she walked, her thoughts subtly shifted from her financial worries to the possibility that maybe, just maybe, there was still good fortune waiting to find her, too. At home, Samantha dropped her soggy bag by the door and changed into dry clothes. As she settled onto her small couch with a cup of tea, she couldn't shake the feeling that her day was about to take an unusual turn. It was a simple, selfless gesture, and yet it had brought a spark of light into her world. Her phone lit up with a new email, and as she opened it, her heart skipped a beat. It was from a client offering her a larger project than she'd ever undertaken before, a chance she thought she wouldn't get. The timing was uncanny, almost as if her kindness had set things in motion for a better chapter. Samantha smiled to herself, thinking about Jessica Palmer trudging off to her meeting under the shelter of Samantha's umbrella. It was funny how the universe seemed to be taking notice. Later in the evening, Samantha couldn't resist sharing the incident with her best friend, Michael Stevens, when he popped by for their usual coffee chat. Michael knew all about her struggles and was a constant source of encouragement. "That's just like you, Samantha Peterson, offering shelter with no strings attached," he laughed, lifting his mug. "It's your golden heart at work." Samantha chuckled, a little embarrassed by the attention. "Let's hope it brings some golden opportunities, too," she replied, thinking about the new project in her inbox. Even as she spoke, Samantha couldn't quite predict how much that simple act of kindness would change her path. Yet, she felt a hopeful anticipation, ready for whatever came next. And, indeed, an ordinary day in blustery early winter had set the stage for something monumental. The evening air in Samantha Peterson's modest apartment was comforting. The rain had stopped, leaving behind the faint scent of earth and freshness wafting through her small, partially opened window. After Michael Stevens, her best friend, had left with encouraging words and warmth, Samantha was alone with her thoughts, replaying the day's events. Jessica Palmer's grateful smile and the unexpected email offer had ushered in a sense of hope, filling the small space with a new kind of energy. As if on cue, Samantha's phone buzzed again. Expecting another job-related email, she opened it to find a message from an unknown number. It was a short but sincere thank you from Jessica, offering to return the umbrella and perhaps chat over coffee. Samantha's instinct was to politely decline, but something about Jessica's message hinted at a genuine connection, an opportunity maybe worth exploring outside of the usual humdrum of her freelance work. The next morning was a typical gray and chilly one, so Samantha donned her thickest sweater, wrapped a scarf around her neck, and braved the cold. Her meeting with Jessica was set in a small, cozy coffee shop she had yet to try. Inside, the rich aroma of brewing coffee wrapped around her like a welcoming embrace. Samantha spotted Jessica quickly, seated by the window, her coat dry today, looking far more composed. "Hi, Samantha," Jessica greeted her as she approached the table. "Thanks for meeting me. I'm really grateful for your help yesterday." Samantha smiled, as they settled into a comfortable conversation where laughter was shared over mutual stories of unexpected downpours. Jessica returned the umbrella, her expression earnest. "I know we don't know each other well, but I think I might have a proposal that could benefit both of us." Jessica began cautiously. Samantha raised her eyebrows slightly, intrigued but cautious. "What do you have in mind?" Jessica explained how she worked at a small firm downtown, the same area where Samantha did some of her freelance gigs. She needed fresh designs for a marketing campaign her company was running, and thought Samantha's style would be perfect, given what she had seen online. Jessica sang praises about Samantha's artistic touch she'd discovered while researching potential freelancers, not realizing initially that Samantha was the same person who had helped her in the rain. Samantha was taken aback, pleasantly surprised. It was as though her act of kindness had opened a door she hadn't known existed. She listened intently as Jessica laid out the details, and for the first time in a while, the projects she'd been hoping for seemed less like a distant dream. Over the next few days, as morning turned to afternoon and afternoon into evening, Samantha found herself busier than she'd been in months. Not only had Jessica's firm, Thompson Reed, agreed to hire her for the campaign, but word of her designs began to spread. Michael Stevens, who was among the first to hear about her newfound workload, congratulated her over another coffee session. "Looks like your kindness did pay off, Samantha," he teased lightly, knowing well how such moments of optimism could lift her spirits. "The universe might just be catching on to you." Samantha laughed. The weight of financial worry subtly lessened by this venture and the support of her close circle, including Michael, who was now brainstorming ideas with her. Despite the challenges of delivering a high-level project, she felt invigorated. One evening, Michael surprised her with news that he'd spoken to a friend who was organizing a gallery event downtown and had mentioned Samantha's designs. His friend was eager to see her work, which could open yet another avenue for her. As more opportunities cropped up, Samantha found her apartment less of a sanctuary of solitude and more of a bustling creative haven. Her dining table, once purely functional, became the creative hub of her projects. Stacks of sketches, inspirations, and pieces of fabric were sprawled over it, a testament to her burgeoning success. Jessica proved to be more than just a client. Their relationship developed from professional to friendly, with occasional coffee meetings at the same small shop that had kindled their partnership. They learned about each other's backgrounds and motivations, the shared struggles of finding balance in demanding careers, and the importance of those small acts of kindness. In one of their meetings, Jessica shared over gingerbread lattes. "You know, every time I use the umbrella now, I think of you and how generously you handed it over without hesitation. This project wouldn't have happened if not for that moment." Samantha nodded, feeling the sincerity resonate. It was a reminder that her instinct to help, driven by her kind nature, had created waves bigger than she could have imagined. As the days progressed to weeks, Samantha felt a shift not just in her career but in her spirit. The consistent worries about rent and bills had turned to manageable obstacles, as her success with Jessica's project and other new work secured her immediate financial future. With increasing offers flowing in, Samantha began to plan for her first solo exhibition in over a year, using the chance that Michael had arranged with his gallery-connected friend. The path she'd stumbled upon was one paved by her willingness to offer help on a rainy day, and as she prepared for what lay ahead, Samantha embraced the changes with open arms, heart and mind filled with gratitude for both the little and monumental acts that had led her to this point. With the plans for her solo exhibition underway, Samantha Peterson couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation and trepidation. Her sketches and designs had now taken over, not just her dining table but also most of her small living room. The apartment was a vibrant mess, colors and ideas sprawled around in a way that invited creativity and chaos. One morning, Samantha decided to take a short walk to clear her mind before diving into the day's projects. The winter chill still lingered in the air, but the sky was clear. As she passed the park near her home, the same park where she had offered her umbrella to Jessica Palmer, her thoughts wandered back to their chance meeting and how it had opened unexpected doors. Returning home, Samantha found a letter slipped under her apartment door. Curiosity piqued, she quickly opened it and found, to her amazement, a note from Thomson Reed, along with an unexpected check for $5,000. The note expressed gratitude for her exceptional designs and mentioned a bonus for exceeding their expectations with her creativity and the impact it had on their campaign. The amount they had decided to reward her was a direct result of her initial kindness and umbrella and a conversation that had sparked this opportunity. The check was not only a financial blessing that eased her looming worries, but also a validation of her talent and efforts. It was enough to cover her rent several times over, allowing her to breathe a little easier and invest more into her artistic endeavors. Samantha couldn't believe how far a simple act of kindness had extended, but she felt a deep sense of gratitude. That afternoon, she called Michael Stevens, her best friend and confidant, eager to share the good news. They met at their usual coffee shop, a modest place where they had spent countless hours discussing life, love, and work. Over steaming mugs, Samantha told him about the unexpected reward. Michael's eyes widened in surprise and delight. "Samantha, this is amazing," he exclaimed. "It's like everything's finally falling into place for you. I knew your kindness would come back to you tenfold." Encouraged by Michael's unwavering support, Samantha felt a renewed determination for her upcoming exhibition. She poured her heart into her work, guided by the belief that her kindness and talent not only shaped her career but her life. Her focus now was ensuring that her exhibit reflected her journey genuinely. The weeks leading to the exhibition were a blur of creative fervor. Jessica Palmer remained a steady supporter, often texting Samantha with words of encouragement or meeting her for quick coffee breaks to exchange ideas. Their professional collaboration had blossomed into a true friendship, a testament to the potential connections born from unexpected kindness. One evening, as Samantha was preparing her pieces for transport to the gallery, Jessica called with another piece of uplifting news. She had recommended Samantha for a high-profile interior design project in town, something much larger than anything Samantha had previously worked on. The opportunity could open even more doors, raising Samantha's profile within the creative industry beyond her current circle. Feeling elated and thankful, Samantha spent the next few days piecing together everything for her exhibition. She was determined that every design, every sketch, displayed not just her skills but the story of compassion and growth that underpinned her recent journey. On the morning of the exhibition, the gallery buzzed with the anticipation of visitors, critics, and potential patrons. Michael was by her side, ensuring that everything was set up perfectly. His belief in her craft was unwavering, and as he checked last-minute details with her, Samantha was grateful for his friendship, a constant through the ups and downs. The opening night was a success, and Samantha found herself surrounded by familiar faces, friends, peers, clients, and colleagues. They marveled at her designs, each piece reflective of the experiences and inspiration she had gathered along the way. Many guests were familiar with the Thomson Reed project, which had become a local buzz, and they praised her work for its unique blend of style and emotion. Toward the end of the evening, Jessica arrived, beaming with pride. "You've done so much in such a short time," she said, giving Samantha a warm hug. "This is just the beginning." Her words carried the weight of truth, as Samantha could feel in the very air of the gallery. Her initial, almost instinctive act of offering her umbrella had indeed set off a cascade of fortunate events, bringing friendships and professional success beyond what she had initially imagined. By the time the exhibition closed, Samantha had secured several commissions and gained new contacts that promised future work. Her career was no longer just surviving, it was thriving in a way she hadn't dared to dream of months prior. The check from Thomson Reed had enabled her to confidently take these steps, fueling not only her creativity but her resolve. Samantha realized that her story was not just about one moment of kindness, but about the continual choice to remain open-hearted, to embrace possibilities from unexpected encounters. It was as though the universe had conspired to remind her that compassion and creativity were intertwined, offering not only shelter on a rainy day but a path to a brighter, fuller life. Reflecting on this journey, she understood her life would always be marked by seasons of giving and receiving. As the weeks passed and the experiences from the exhibition lingered, Samantha remained committed to letting her kindness ripple outwards, whatever the weather. The rewards, tangible or otherwise, would follow naturally, weaving together the story of a woman who, through one simple act, learned that small gestures can indeed lead to extraordinary outcomes. As winter thawed into the promise of spring, her heart kept the warmth of optimism and gratitude, ready to embrace whatever came next. As winter's chill gradually gave way to the gentler breezes of early spring, Samantha Peterson found her world gently unfolding into unexpected beauty. The vibrant memories of her exhibition lingered as a beacon of hope, marking the beginning of a new chapter where her passion had been recognized in ways she'd only dreamed of. Her small apartment felt lighter, almost as if her success had breathed life into the very walls, and she had conducted a thorough spring cleaning, bagging up old sketches and stray art supplies for donation. One morning, as sunlight streamed through the window, casting warm patterns on her kitchen floor, Samantha sat with a fresh cup of coffee. She reflected on how far she'd come since that chance encounter in the rain with Jessica Palmer. Her struggles seemed a distant memory, yet she knew it was those very struggles that had shaped her journey to this point. Her phone buzzed gently on the table. It was a text from Michael Stevens, asking if she was up for a morning walk in the park. Ever since her exhibition, they had made these casual meetups a more frequent ritual. Michael, ever the buoyant presence in her life, had been a steadfast supporter and a constant source of humor and encouragement. Samantha responded with enthusiasm, eager to catch up with him and enjoy the new energy of the season. As they strolled through the park, where birds chirped tunefully and blooms were beginning to peek through the earth, Samantha felt grateful for Michael's companionship and the simple joy of meaningful friendships. They walked slowly, savoring the morning, discussing everything from creative projects to the small and amusing happenings of daily life. So Michael grinned, a teasing note in his voice. What's next in the world for the famous Samantha Peterson? She laughed, brushing off his light-hearted jibe. I'm just taking it day by day, letting things unfold naturally. But I was thinking of expanding my work, maybe combining my love for design and community. Perhaps some workshops or public art projects. He nodded approvingly. That sounds perfect for you. You're all about connection and adding something positive to the world. And remember, I'm always here to help with whatever you need. As they continued their walk, Samantha felt a renewed sense of purpose. She was eager to not only continue creating but to give back, inspired by the unexpected opportunities and friendships that had blossomed from simple acts of kindness. Later that day, back in her apartment, Samantha received a call from Jessica Palmer. The happiness in her voice was infectious, and she had some news to share. Jessica began, I'm thrilled to tell you that your designs had such an impact at Thomson Reed that our team is considering a long-term partnership with you. We want this creativity to become a constant part of our brand. This was more than Samantha had hoped for. Jessica, that's incredible, she responded, feeling both excited and honored by the offer. As they discussed the possibilities, Samantha's mind buzzed with ideas. The professional bond with Jessica had transformed into genuine friendship, as natural as two pieces of a puzzle fitting together. This partnership meant more than financial stability, it was about creating something greater, something meaningful and shared. With this new venture in mind, Samantha knew she needed to build on her foundation of kindness and creativity. She wanted her work to make a tangible impact, to be a beacon of inspiration for those around her. Thomson Reed's recognition of her talent had been the initial spark. In between the flutters of excitement for future projects, Samantha spent her time sketching new designs, planning her next steps, and envisioning a series of workshops that would foster community involvement through art. As several days passed, Samantha's dedication and vision began to take shape. Her apartment became a hive of activity, art supplies organized in anticipation of creating something impactful. She knew that each step forward was not just for her own growth but also an opportunity to share her journey with others. One afternoon, as she sat revising ideas for her community workshops, Samantha received another call, this time from a local community center organizer. They had heard about her success and were impressed by her art exhibitions. They proposed a collaboration to create a mural that involved local residents, a project that Samantha had not even dared to imagine happening so soon. Overwhelmed yet motivated by the prospect, Samantha could almost see the mural coming to life in vibrant colors and stories, each brushstroke leaving a legacy within the community. This project, an intersection of personal passion and public impact, was exactly where she felt her contributions could truly make a difference. It filled her with hope, a reminder of how far she'd traveled from the days of uncertainty. When she shared the news with Michael Stevens, his support was immediate and enthusiastic. "A mural, Samantha. That's huge. Just think about the stories you'll help bring to life," he cheered. Their conversations over coffee, brainstorms at the park, and his unwavering belief in her had been a critical part of her journey. Samantha was grateful for friendships like these, ones that brought joy and companionship through life's ebb and flow. As the mural project commenced, Samantha quickly immersed herself, working closely with community members. This venture not only represented her artistic voice but also the combined dreams and anecdotes of a diverse community. Each day, participants of all ages and backgrounds contributed their stories and art, coming together to create something beautiful and enduring. And so it was that Samantha's journey, inspired by her kindness and creativity, came full circle. The mural, once just an idea, gradually unfolded onto the walls of the community center, becoming a testament to resilience, unity, and hope. Her collaborative projects with Thomson Reed thrived alongside the mural, both ventures echoing the pattern she'd established using her art to foster connection and growth. Relationships deepened, friendships flourished, and opportunities blossomed, all stemming from one act of kindness on a rainy day. Samantha reflected on how the journey of giving and receiving intertwined so intimately. From simple beginnings had grown a life of intentional purpose, each forward step accompanied by the warmth of human connection. As the mural reached completion, a dedication ceremony was planned by the community center, ensuring everyone involved could celebrate the collaborative achievement. People gathered, stories were shared, laughter and music filled the air, capturing the essence of what they had created together. In this moment, witnessing all she had contributed to and gained, Samantha felt a profound appreciation for the road traveled. Her kindness had sparked an inspirational journey that now brightened the lives of many, and she knew that the decision to extend her hand on a rainy day had been more than serendipity, it had been the foundation of a legacy. As the sun lowered, casting a golden hue over the mural, Samantha stood with Michael at her side, surveying the collective masterpiece. It was more than she could have imagined when she offered her umbrella. It was a clear reminder of the enduring power of kindness and how a single gesture could change everything, starting with one person's resolve to make the world a better, brighter place.